The way that we interpret the things that happen in our lives are so important. We are meaning making creatures, and we are constantly trying to figure out what what is the meaning of an incident that happens to us. How do we interpret what this challenge or perceived failure is, and how do we move on? So I want to talk a little bit more about the explanatory styles that I shared on Instagram earlier this week. And we're going to be talking about the pessimistic and the optimistic thinking style. I will give you some examples from my own practice. As you guys maybe know, I work mostly with relationships and intimacy and communication, but you can apply this to basically any area of life. So the pessimistic thinking style sees incidents that happen in our lives, especially bad ones, as permanent, as pervasive, and as personal. So a permanent way of thinking when you have a challenge that arises is, I'll never succeed at this level. I'll never have that relationship that I really want. It is a permanent thing. So say you get rejected and you're like, well, I'll never have that relationship. Here we go. This rejection is really helping me solidify that worldview. And then pervasive is something that, it's like, I am always liking the ones that don't like me, or I am always late. So it's this pervasive thing in your life that creates the environment for why even try? Because it's pervasive. It always happens. The ones that I like never like me. So why try to push myself? And then there's personal, which is I'm a loser, I'm undateable, I'm hopeless, and that's a real buzzkill, and that doesn't really get you curious and trying to push your boundaries or trying to explore other options around you. So that pessimistic explanatory style keeps you really small. The optimistic thinking style, and optimistic not like Pollyanna, not in a way where you're delusional and you're kind of thinking that nothing's wrong with you and you're in a bubble. This is where you see challenges as temporary, right? So maybe if we're talking about the dating situation, this is just not the right person. And, I've just had like a string of dates that haven't been great, but it's not going to last forever. Or if you want to put it in a work context, I messed up this presentation, but, I didn't prepare for it maybe the way I should have. I'll learn better next time. Then there's specific. And that's, with the dating situation, thinking in this incident, the reason why you guys didn't connect or why it didn't happen is because this person wasn't a match. It was specific to this situation. It does not mean anything about all of the situations. And then the last one is external. So non-personal factors that contributed to the situation that was a challenge or was a disappointment. Just saying, it's something that maybe the timing was wrong with this person. Maybe they're not ready. It has maybe something to do with the chemistry that we didn't have together, but also with their willingness to be in a relationship. So it's not just all about you. So those are two different thinking styles. The reason why the optimistic thinking style is so important is because optimism is one of the main variables in resilience. And resilience is not just how you bounce back from disappointments, but it's how you bounce through. It's how you learn from things and how you grow from them. If you are in that pessimistic explanatory style space where, everything is permanent, it's pervasive, it's personal, something's wrong with you, there's something that always happens to you and it's never going to change, how are you going to bounce back from that? It really creates an environment of self-protection and where every single bad thing that happens to you is a threat. And you have to hide, batten down the hatches. Don't even try. Don't even do anything different because it's always going to be the same. So if you find yourself engaging in this pessimistic thinking style, it's really important to challenge yourself. If you find yourself using phrases in your self-talk like, I always do this, I never do this isn't for me, I'm this, I'm that, really like labeling definitive language, maybe it's time to sit back and just think to yourself, challenge yourself. Does this always happen to me? Is this a permanent feature of my life? Am I a whatever it is, loser, undateable, unmarriable, bad at X, Y, and Z? And just take a moment and challenge yourself. The issue is when you rehearse a pessimistic thinking style, it can spike your stress. It can contribute to anxiety, depression, and just the rehearsal of it, it becomes automatic. So I want you, if you're in a place right now where you are not going for the things you want, where you feel stuck, where you feel like you are not able to grow, just think about what this explanatory style might be in your life. So, again, if you're thinking permanent, pervasive, and personal, that is very pessimistic. If you're thinking more temporary, specific, and external, that is an area that leaves it's a little more space there to come up with explanations for why things are happening and where you can go from there. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave any comments below. You can also email me, info@shulamelamed.com. And I find this is really useful with my clients who are out there trying to meet somebody or trying to make changes in their own personal lives or even with their partner. Using these two explanatory style or examining which one you're really using as the default can be very, very helpful. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about cognitive distortions in my next video, and I just want these to be bite-sized informational videos where you can really find out how our thinking patterns affect the outcomes of what we go for, what we don't go for, and how we exist in situations. So have a wonderful day, and any questions, reach out.